Welcome to the deep dive. Today, you sent us down a really interesting path. We're going to unpack the lyrics of Ashnikko's song Itty Bitty. Now, we know looking closely at contemporary music might seem a bit different for us, but honestly, we think there's a lot to unpack in how artists are expressing themselves right now.
Absolutely. It's a rich area.
So our mission basically is to explore the main themes and, the specific artistic choices Ashnikko is making in this track.
Yep.
And we're using the lyrics as published on azlyrics.com for this.
Got it.
So let's just jump right in. The song opens, pretty directly, doesn't it? Can you see my pussy? Can you see my ass when I bend over? Yeah. Okay, good. What was your first thought hearing that?
Well, it's definitely designed to grab your attention right instantly.
Display, for sure.
It sort of throws down a challenge immediately. It feels like Ashnikko's staking out her territory, saying, she's in control of how her body's perceived. It's very upfront.
Yeah, a declaration.
A declaration of ownership, yeah. Confidence. What did you think about starting so, boldly?
It sets a tone, doesn't it? Completely unapologetic self-awareness. It's almost confrontational, but maybe also inviting a certain kind of look, but purely on her terms. And then, straight after that, we get the line that repeats. Itty bitty, teeny tiny little slutty skirt. I like to put it on every time my heart hurt.
Right. That refrain.
This phrase comes back again and again. What strikes you about her linking this specific skirt with that description to emotional pain?
Well, what's really interesting, I think, is how she might be reclaiming slutty skirt.
Reclaiming it? How so?
Instead of it just being, a negative label someone else might use, she ties it directly to her vulnerability every time my heart hurt. It's almost like the skirt becomes, a way to express herself. Or maybe even armor.
Armor against the pain. Yeah, I can see that.
Exactly. Armor she puts on when she's feeling that distress. Why do you think she picks something with those specific connotations when she's feeling vulnerable?
That's a really good question. Maybe it's about flipping the narrative. Taking a term used for judgment and making it hers, like empowering. Like, you see this, but for me it means this. It's my hurting outfit. But then right after she mentions the breakup, the lyrics just swerve, don't they? I'm getting finger fucked in the back of the club. Ugh. That's quite a contrast.
It absolutely is, that juxtaposition. You have the acknowledged heartbreak, the vulnerability, and then immediately this very direct, almost aggressive sexuality. It makes you wonder how those two things connect for her, or for the persona in the song.
Is it cause and effect, maybe?
Could be. Is it a way to deal with the pain through a physical act? Or is it more like defiance, like rejecting how you're supposed to act after a breakup? What hits you most about that sudden shift?
It feels like she's deliberately shaking things up.
Yeah.
Refusing to just be sad, maybe. Refusing to be put in one emotional box.
Yeah, refusing neat categories.
And then we get that line, I tuck my lip gloss in my boot, bitch, I am here to work.
Yeah.
I mean, wow. That's such a strong image. What's that telling you?
That line, it just crystallizes this sense of self-possession, agency.
Right.
The lip gloss in my boot, it's so specific, it's practical almost, but still keeping that element of, style or self.
Utilitarian chic.
Kind of. It suggests she's ready for anything. And the bitch, like you said, feels like confidence, power, not an insult.
Definitely.
And I am here to work. That implies she has a purpose and intention. It's not just passive. What kind of work do you reckon she means?
Good question. It feels like the work of just being there, asserting her presence, her right to operate on her own terms. Like, don't mess with me, I'm focused.
Yeah, don't underestimate me.
And right after that, the imagery just explodes. It gets really dynamic. She says she'll whip my truck like a go-kart.
Playful, yeah.
Then someone wants her cryogenic cold heart.
Whoa, okay.
And she calls herself a rose quartz rock star. It's this mix, isn't it? Playful, but also really intense.
It's fascinating how she blends these things that don't seem to go together. Whip my truck like a go-kart, that's carefree, almost reckless fun.
Yeah.
Then cryogenic cold heart. That suggests deep emotional distance, maybe from past hurts, like she's frozen herself off.
Guarded.
Very guarded. And rose quartz rock star, that one's particularly striking. Rose quartz is all about love, compassion, healing.
Right, gentle energy.
Smashed right up against the rebellious, loud, boundary-pushing vibe of a rock star. What does layering images like that say to you about the character?
It feels like she's just embracing being complex. She refuses to be only one thing. She can be reckless and guarded. She can identify with vulnerability the rose quartz and power the rock star at the same time. It's not either.
No neat boxes.
And then she sings about wanting someone to tranquilize me with a blow dart, which, again, adds another layer. What's that about?
Yeah, that line is interesting. It introduces this feeling of wanting what? To be subdued, to escape.
So you have the intensity, maybe?
Perhaps. It contrasts with all the assertive stuff. It hints at maybe wanting release or even surrendering control for a bit amidst all the energy. It suggests some internal conflict.
Multifaceted desires.
Exactly, which we see again when she gets really direct about desire. Wish I had 2 tongues, I'm a succubus, looking for someone hung pink dick like bubble gum. I mean, that's pretty unambiguous.
Yeah, leaves little to the imagination there. She's really leaning into a very open, maybe playful sexuality.
Totally.
The succubus thing is interesting, that mythical creature known for, well, seduction and maybe draining energy.
Right, power dynamics again.
And the pink dick like bubblegum. It's so specific, so vivid, almost cartoonish. What do you make of that kind of really direct, almost exaggerated way of talking about desire?
I think it feels like a very deliberate reclaiming of female desire, presenting it powerfully, but also with this almost whimsical, maybe disarming quality.
Disarming through exaggeration?
Maybe. The hyperbole, like bubblegum, it can kind of deflate any shame or taboo around it. It's just out there, bold, her terms.
Interesting completely.
Ties back to that confrontational start, too. She's not backing down from saying exactly what she wants. And then she follows it up, wanting fun, being mischievous, troublesome, wanting to fuck in the bathroom, super cute with someone new.
Right. It's that blend, again, sort of childlike, mischievous, and then very adult desires.
What do you think about that mix? Playful and adult.
It seems like she's saying you can be both. That sexuality doesn't have to be deadly serious all the time. The super cute part, especially in a bathroom, adds this relatable, almost mundane touch. It's not all high drama. Sometimes it's just about fun, lighthearted connection.
Yeah, grounded in something real, even if the setting is a bit illicit.
And then comes that rapid fire list. Thumbelina, dragon fruit, I'm magnetic, you want me too? Those images are all over the place.
They really are. It's a fascinating way to build an identity, isn't it? Thumbelina, that suggests smallness, delicacy, fairy tale vibes.
Right.
Then dragon fruit, exotic, colorful, maybe a bit unusual, texture.
Unexpected.
And magnetic is pure confidence, this undeniable pull she has. It's like she's presenting all these different facets, inviting you to see her as all these things at once.
Fluid identity. Maybe contradictory even.
Definitely suggests that.
Oh.
Which image stands out most to you in the song's context?
I think dragon fruit does. Because it's just not a typical comparison. It has that burst of unexpectedness, color. It reinforces that multifaceted, surprising idea of her.
Good point.
And then there's the Sex and the City line. So Sex and the City, I know it'll fix me.
That's such a specific cultural reference. What could that mean here?
Well, Sex and the City, culturally, it often represents female friendship, figuring out relationships, sexuality, city life, self-discovery through those things.
Right, the whole package.
So the line, I know it'll fix me, it suggests maybe relying on external things, experiences, maybe even the idea of that lifestyle to sort out internal feelings.
Like a coping mechanism. Possibly. Is it genuine belief that these things heal, or is it more like escapism? A temporary fix? What do you think? Does it sound like a lasting solution she's talking about?
It does feel a bit like reaching for a quick fix, yeah. A distraction maybe, not really getting to the root of the heart hurt. And then as the song winds down, she circles back to those opening lines. Can you see my pussy? Can you see my ass when I bend over?
Brings us right back.
It really does. Why do you think she repeats those right at the end?
Well, repetition hammers the point home, right? It reinforces those initial ideas, visibility, ownership, the gaze. It's like she's bookending the whole thing, saying, okay, after all that, are you getting it? This is me.
Checking if we were listening.
Maybe. And then we get the itty-bitty slutty skirt line again, but the very last line has a twist. I'm like a bitch in heat in the desert with a thirst. That's intense. Powerful way to finish.
It really leaves you with something, doesn't it? That final image just cranks up the intensity way beyond the earlier heartbreak mentions. A bitch in heat in the desert with a thirst. It sounds raw, almost primal, desperate maybe.
Yeah, a desperate level of desire or longing. What does that final picture say to you about the song's overall feeling?
It amplifies the yearning, I think. Maybe a more primal need underneath everything else.
The desert setting too, isolation, harshness, intensity, it moves past the playful stuff, past even the defiant sexuality and hints at this deeper, maybe more vulnerable craving, connection, release.
Unresolved longing, yeah.
It's a potent ending. It's also interesting, on AZ lyrics, below the lyrics for Itty Bitty, they have that You May Also Like section. It lists Lauren Sanderson, Snow Wife, Call Me Charisma, Mia Rodriguez, Stella Cole.
Ah, right, the recommendations.
What do you think having those artists there suggests to someone who's clicked with Itty Bitty?
That's a great point. It probably signals a shared vibe, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Either sonically or thematically. If you liked the boldness, the mix of vulnerability and confidence, maybe that alt-pop sound in Itty Bitty, you might find similar things in those other artists. It's like a little roadmap for the listener.
A roadmap into a certain musical landscape, yeah. Suggests the kind of community of artists maybe exploring similar territory.
So, wrapping up this deep dive into Itty Bitty, it's pretty clear that what looks maybe simple or just provocative on the surface, it actually digs into a lot of complex feelings. You've got vulnerability bumping up against self-expression, this really open embrace of sexuality, and that mix of playful and really intense emotions, all through very direct, memorable lyrics.
Absolutely. It's a good reminder that contemporary pop, even when it seems straightforward, can offer real depth, real insights into how artists are processing their experiences and trying to connect.
Navigating identity, desire, doing it openly, sometimes confrontationally.
For sure. And that leads us to a final thought for you listening. Think about how artists today, like Ashnikko here, use language that's bold, sometimes provocative. How are they using it to explore really personal stuff and connect with audiences differently?
Yeah. What is this kind of language, the directness mixed with playful imagery? What does it actually communicate to you about the artist, the song, maybe even bigger conversations about sexuality and who we are today?
Something to mull over. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.